All right, 7.2, solve linear systems by substitution. So in section 1, we did it by graphing. Now we're doing it by substitution. This is a much easier method than doing it by graphing, but still not my favorite method. My favorite method comes later. So steps to solving by substitution. Solve one of the equations for one of the variables if possible. Choose one or choose a variable that has a 1 or negative 1 in front of it. In step 2, substitute, hence the name of the section, the expression from step 1 in for that variable in the other equation. And 3, substitute the value from step 2 into the modified equation from step 1 and solve. And then step 4, write your answer as an ordered pair. So sometimes one of the variables, like when you're having your two equations, sometimes they'll have it like one's already solved for you, which is nice. Sometimes you have to manipulate and get like one of the variables by itself and then do it. So that's more where this comes in, is like choose the one that has a 1 or a negative 1 in front of it and get that one by itself first. And just like we could check like the point that we got in section 1, we can do that again here the same way. I probably won't really show that again, but just know that you can check them just like we could with the graphing ones. Alright, so problems number 4, y equals 2x minus 1 and 2x plus y equals 3. So they've already solved one equation for a variable for us. That would be this first equation here is already solved. So I take this part of this equation here and I plug this in for y in the second one. So I have 2x plus 2x minus 1 equals 3. So notice there's only one variable now in that equation. So I get 4x minus 1 equals 3. 4x equals 4. So x equals 1. Now I take this number and I plug it in for x up here in the original one. So y equals 2 times 1 minus 1, and what does that equal to? 1. So then my answer as an ordered pair is 1, 1. Six, 4x minus 7y equals 10, and y equals x minus 7. So again, they've already gotten one of the variables by itself for us to start with. So I take this x minus 7 and I plug it in for y here. So this one's a little different because I've got 4x minus 7 times y, which is now times x minus 7, equals 10. So now I have to also distribute because there was a number in front. So 4x minus 7x plus 49 equals 10. Combine like terms. Negative 3x plus 49 equals 10. Subtract the 49. Negative 3x equals negative 39. Divide by negative 3, so x equals 13. So now I take this and I plug it in for x in the second equation, which is the one that I plugged into originally. So y equals 13 minus 7. So what is y?
6.
6. So my ordered pair is 13, 6. All right, I'm going to have you try the next one on your own just because it's one like this where it's already got it by itself. So I know normally I don't have you try one on your own this early, but we're going to move into the next thing where we're having to get one by itself. So try this one and then we'll go over it. Number 8, negative 5x plus 3y equals 51, and y equals 10x minus 8. So it's already got y by itself, so take that and plug it in and solve for your xy ordered pair. All right, do we get an ordered pair?
3, 22.
Does everybody agree? So we used the 10x minus 8. We plugged that in for y in the first equation. And then I had to distribute, which gave me 30x minus 24 in there. And then combined like terms, I got 25x. And in that step, I also added the 24 over, which gave me the 75. So x equals 3. And then I took that and I plugged that in for y. So I had to do 10 times 3 minus 8, which is 22. So the point is 322. Any questions about that one? All right, so we're going to move into some that we're going to have to manipulate a little bit more. So number 10, 2x minus y equals 23, and x minus 9 equals negative 1. So what do you notice is different about this problem compared to the other ones we've done so far?
The bottom one doesn't have
There's no y in the bottom one. So that means that I can really quickly find x, and so this one's actually almost faster than the other ones. So if I got x by itself, what do I get?
X equals 8.
8, because we had added over, and then 9 minus 1 would be 8. So now I've already solved for x is equal to 8. I'm going to plug that in here. So 2 times 8 minus y equals 23. 2 times 8 is 16 minus y equals 23. Subtract 16. 23 minus 16 is what?
7.
Now what do I have to do?
Divide by negative 1.
Yep, divide by the negative, so y equals negative 7. So my point is 8, negative 7.
Carries back.
12. So this one is going to require more work. This one is 2x plus y equals 9, and 4x minus y equals negative 15. So what's different about this one compared to the other ones?
There is a y.
They both
None
have
of them
two
is,
x's.
like-
They both have one x and one y.
Like, none of them are set up to where, like, y is by itself.
Yeah. So none of them are set so that either x or y is already by itself. So that means I've got to get one of those variables by itself. So my general rule of thumb and the easiest thing to do is to get a positive y, like the one at the top here, get this one by itself. Because if I do this one, I end up having to divide by a negative, which is fine, I can, but it's a lot easier in terms of how many steps it takes if I choose the one that's a positive one instead of a negative. But if this one had like a 3 in front of it, I would choose this one, okay? Now, I could choose 4x if I wanted to, but you're going to be miserable if you choose that, so I wouldn't do that. I would choose the one that has just a 1 in front. So if I want to get this y here by itself, what is that going to give me?
Subtract 2x, so you get y equals negative 2x plus 9.
Yep, negative 2x plus 9. So now I can take this and plug it in here. So I've got 4x minus negative 2x plus 9 equals negative 15. Distribute the negative, so it's 4x plus 2x minus 9 equals negative 15. So in this step, I'm going to combine the like terms and I'm going to move the 9 over. So this is 6x. And I'm adding this 9 over here. So negative 15 plus 9 is
6.
negative 6. Divide by 6. X equals negative 1. Now, this is where, I don't remember what step number it was. Step 3. Substitute the value from step 2 into the modified equation from step 1. So I'm going to take this number and I'm going to plug it in for x here. Now, you can do the very original, but it's easier because I'm ultimately trying to solve for y, so now all I have to do is plug in x. If I put it in up here, I have to move stuff over, and it's just like a whole extra step. So y equals -2 times -1 plus 9. So y equals 2 plus 9, or y equals 11. So my ordered pair is -1 and 11. You have a question?
How do you get the negative, like the negative by itself when you have like the 4x and then the negative was there and then it was parentheses negative 2x plus.
What is your question?
Like how'd you get like negative? Like where'd you get the negative?
From the equation.
But what about the y?
The y got replaced with this. (14) 5x plus 4y equals 32, and 9x minus y equals 33. So I'll ask again with this one, what's different?
None of them are solved where it's set.
And what else is different on
One
top
them
of
has
that?
a 4y.
Oh, okay. It's not really what I'm looking for. But are any of them just a positive one in front of them?
No.
So, which one should I choose to solve for?
Negative y.
For negative y in the bottom. Now, I want to make something clear because I think all the ones we've done so far, we've solved for y, or y was already given to us. We can also do x first. So, like if it was x that had a 1 in front of it, we could do that too. So, I'm going to do this bottom one and get y by itself. How do I get y by itself in this equation?
Subtract 9x.
So, negative y equals negative 9x plus 33. Now what?
Divide by the negative.
And what do I get?
9x, y equals 9x minus 33.
Yep. So now I have to plug that in up here for that one. So 5x plus 4 times 9x minus 33 equals 32. Now, I'm also going to pause right here and tell you, under normal circumstances, once we've learned other methods, I would not use this method to solve this problem. It's just me personally, but this problem is harder doing it by this method versus, like, mathematically it's harder than the method that we're going to learn next, but it can always work this way. Some people like this method better than the method that I like, so it's up to you. So what do I get when I distribute this?
5x plus 36x minus 132.
Minus what?
132.
Now what do I need to do?
Combine like terms.
So 41x, and I'm going to go ahead and move over this 132. So 32 plus 132 would be 164. Divide, was that 4? 164 by 41, 4. So there's x. So now I take this number And I'm going to plug it in for x here. So y equals 9 times 4 minus 33. What's 9 times 4?
36.
36 minus 33 is
Three.
3. So the point is 4, 3.
Is the air like hot?
You're big jack.
Alright.
All right, number 16. I'm going to have you guys try this one by yourself also, and then we'll go over it. 20x minus 30y equals negative 50. X plus 2y equals 1. So this is going to be a problem that I would get x by itself. Okay, it works the exact same way. Don't let it being a different variable like trick you. It works the same way, just when you solve for x, then you plug that number in for x in the other equation. So take a minute and do this one. All right, do we have an answer?
Negative or positive one?
Does everybody agree with her? Is she the only one that did the problem?
I got
I
the
agree.
problem down wrong. I put in 31 instead of 40.
I got fractions, so I'm not sure.
I'm like on
Yeah,
like I just
same. I
finished
got
solving the
negative one,
y.
one.
I just finished solving
No,
y.
I got fractions because I
Oh, wait, no,
put
solving
negative
x.
31
I got
y
fractions, but I
instead of
wrote it down
negative
right.
30.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I got what Abby got.
I don't understand
Yeah.
Well, maybe next time don't go to the bathroom while I'm teaching.
Ooh.
So yeah, x by itself, so we subtracted the 2y, so x equals negative 2y plus 1. Then I take that and I plug that in for x in the top equation, so 20 times negative 2y plus 1 minus 30y equals negative 50. Distribute negative 40y plus 20 minus 30y equals negative 50. combined like terms, negative 70y, and I subtracted the 20 over equals negative 70. Divide by negative 70, so y equals 1. Then take that and plug it into y up here. So x equals negative 2 times 1 plus 1, which is negative 2 plus 1, or negative 1. So we get the point negative 1, 1. You have a question?
Wait, so why did we move the negative 2y plus 1 to 20 instead of negative 30y?
Because this is x.
Wait,
If you plugged it in for y, you still have two variables. You have to get it to one variable.
wait, why didn't we flip it around so the y isn't, so why, the y by itself?
Because x had a 1 in front of it. And the instructions up here and the steps that I gave you said, solve one of the equations for one of the variables. If possible, choose a variable that has a 1 or a negative 1 in front of it. The only one that has that is x. And I literally said when I started the problem, use x. All right, any other questions? All right, problems then are 3 through 17. Nope, not 17. 17 has weird numbers. 3 through 15 on